Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Shifting Perspectives. My name is Derek Kopp and I want to share with you today a list that I've put together over the last couple weeks of 30 things that I will not do. Now I share this with you for two reasons. And the first is not to impress you at all. That's not my goal. My goal is to impress upon you the importance of knowing what you will not do. It gives you such freedom to focus on what you are going to do. A silly way of looking at it is, how do I know what to do? By first of all knowing what not to do. The second reason is to encourage you to know what your boundaries are, to encourage you to know where your parameters and your guidelines are in life. Now I get that putting a list together like this may not be your thing. That's okay. It's not for everybody. You don't need a list, but you do need to know what you will not do, what your non-negotiables are in life. So let's get into the list, and I'm going to be looking over here at the list on my computer as we go. The first one is, I will not cheat on Katie. I will not divorce Katie. May 30th of 2009, 12 years ago, we made a commitment to each other to stick with each other through thick and thin till death do us part, and I intend to make good on that commitment. Number two, I will not yell at my kids. This one I wrote down with some intimidation because it's a struggle. My intention is to never yell at my kids, but to love them and to speak to them in a kind, respectful, not authoritarian way, but authoritative way, not yelling at them. Number three, I will not screw over or take advantage of any of my business partners. I want to value their opinion. I want to value their direction. I want to value them, treat them like I would treat myself even when I disagree with them. Number four, I will not squander or waste the talents that God has given me. I completely believe that God created me exactly the way He did with the talents and the gifts He's given me, and I don't want to waste or squander them at all. I want to make the best on what God has given to me. I will not swear. I will not cuss ever. I want the words of my mouth to glorify God. Number six, I will not miss church simply because I feel like missing church. I want to be integral in church. I want to be reliable and dependent at church. I want to be there every time the doors are open, both for myself and as an example to my kids. Number seven, I will not judge people. It's not my business to know why you make the decisions you make. It's my business to know why I make the decisions that I make. And if we disagree, my job is not to judge you. I'm happy to have a conversation about why we disagree, but my job is not to judge you. I will not judge you. Number eight, I will not value my worthiness based on what I've accomplished. My worth is not tied up in what I do. My worth is that God created me and Christ died on the cross for my sins, and that's enough of value and worthiness for me. Number nine, I will not meet alone in person with a lady. This is to keep everything above board so that nobody has any questions, nobody can suggest anything. It's a commitment that I made to Katie, to me, to stay above board in everything. Number 10, I will not be so out of shape that I can't keep up with my kids. I'm working on getting below a certain number weight right now, and I want to stay below that number so as my kids get older and more active, I want to be able to keep up with them and not be held back. Number 11, I will not miss a day of Bible reading. Now, it's a hard commitment to make, to say I'm not going to do something for the entire rest of my life, or I'm going to do it every day for the rest of my life is the other way of saying that. But my intention is to make a priority out of Bible reading so I stay in contact with God on a daily basis. Number 12, I will not steamroll Katie when she talks to me about work-life balance. I can have the tendency at times to get a little off balance when it comes to work and life and family. And when she brings it up, and she always does it lovingly and kindly, I have the tendency to sometimes just in one ear out the other pacify her and move on. I will not steamroll her. I will value her opinion because I love her. She's my wife. Number 13, I will not get another speeding ticket. So those of you that know me may laugh at this one. I've gotten speeding tickets. I've driven fast. I've driven aggressively. That has changed. To whom much is given, much is required. God has given me this life that I live, and I'm not going to put it at risk driving the way that I've driven before. I will not drink alcohol. I grew up in a home that my parents didn't drink. I haven't drunk alcohol. I don't intend to drink alcohol again. It answers so many more questions for me when I just make that decision right there. So for me, that's a decision that I have made. Number 15, I will not buy a car on credit. And this sets the intention and the expectation that I'm financially responsible so that when I do need to buy a car or have a major repair done on my car, I can pay for it with cash. Number 16, I will not ignore wise counsel in my life. And of course, part of this is that I will have wise counsel in my life. Ladies and men who have different experiences, who know the Bible, who can speak wisdom into my life when I want it and when I don't want it. I want to listen to them. I will not ignore them. Number 17, I will not compare myself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy, and I don't want to live where I've lived before, always comparing myself to others and always feeling that I fall short of somebody else. I always will find somebody else that has better, more, faster, something than me. I will not compare myself to others. Number 18, I will not allow fears to dictate my action when it holds me back. Now, if a bear's chasing me through the woods, yes, I will be afraid, and yes, I will be running because of my fear. That's not what I'm talking about. When God leads me to do something, when I have a vision for something that I can do, if fear is the only thing holding me back, I will not let fear dictate my action. Number 19, I will not magnify my differences as a reason to not develop more or deeper relationships. I have in the past protected, guarded, put some walls up and just kept people outside these walls to protect myself because I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be vulnerable, and that's kept me from developing better relationships, better friendships with people. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow differences to keep me from getting to know other people better. Number 20, I will not do things simply to get people to like me. Do I want people to like me? Of course I do. But that's not my goal in life. I'm not going to do things that violate my values or my principles just to get people to like me. People liking me is going to be a byproduct of sticking to my values, sticking to my principles. The right people will like me and the wrong people won't, and we're going to move on. Life is going to move on. Number 21, I will not believe everything that everybody says about me. Remember, I'm going to have wise counsel in my life. I will listen to the people that I know are connected to the truth and connected to the principles and the values that I want in my life. And other people can have opinions. Other people can tell me what they think, but I don't have to listen to them. I don't have to believe them. I'm not going to believe everything that everybody says about me. Scrolling down here on the computer. Number 22, I will not stop tithing. I believe God has given me everything that I have, and with open hands, I want to say, here, God, here's 10% tithe, and you can have whatever else you want. My life is all yours. Number 23, I will not waste my time worrying about things that I can't control, because when I worry about things that I can't control, I'm spending my time on things that can't change, and I'm not spending my time on things that can change, and my life comes to a grinding halt, which is never good. So I'm going to spend my time and energy and resources on things that I can control, and leave the things that are out of my control, leave them to God, leave them to whatever else is happening. I'm not in control of that stuff. I can't change it. Focus on the things that I can control. I will not ask what if. What if is an exercise of living in the past, which is fruitless. Now, will I take the lessons of the past and learn from them? Absolutely. But I'm not going to live in the past trying to ask what if and what if and what if and what if. That doesn't do any good. I will not deny or denounce my faith in Christ is number 25. God is my Savior. I believe I'm created by God. I'm a child of God. I will not deny or denounce that. Number 26, I will not be ungrateful that I get to go to work on Monday mornings. I will not moan and I will not groan that I have to go to work. It is a privilege to be able to go to work. I am thankful that I get to go to work, and I will not be ungrateful that I get to. I will not be chronically late. I have been chronically late in the past. I'm going to make it a pattern of being on time. I'm going to make it a pattern of respecting other people's time and respecting my time. I will not be chronically late. I will not underestimate the power of a decision. A single decision, especially repeated over and over and over, honoring that decision is extremely powerful, both in a good way and in a bad way. I will not underestimate the power of making a decision and the change that can have in my life and the ripple effect in other people's lives. I will not build my identity off of what I own or what I do, because in a moment, that stuff can be taken away from me. In a car crash, in a house fire, in anything, that stuff can be taken away from me. I want my identity to be in who I am and who God created me to be. Number 30, I will not say no when God says yes. I will not say yes when God says no. I will not disagree with God. I intend to listen to God's guidance and leadership in my life, and I will seek His guidance and leadership in my life. Now, those are the 30 things that I have decided that I will not do. What are the things that you have decided that you will not do? And if you don't know what they are, I challenge you, I encourage you to figure out what they are. They will give you incredible freedom to focus on what is important in your life.